Now, there's a very, very, very small move happening in the cryptocurrency market right now. And yes, if it follows through, it might actually lead to some action for the first time in a while. And I know, yes, the thumbnail title, but we may actually have an altcoin bounce for the first time in half a year, maybe longer than that. And I think the problem we're going to have, let's be honest, it'll happen. People will miss it because I think a lot of people have left crypto. You all know this. You all see it. You all see how many likes my videos get, how many views they get. Not just me, other content creators too. So yeah, let's look a little bit deeper. Now, right now, what is interesting is Bitcoin is staying pretty steady. It's been trickling up since the start of April. It hasn't really set the world alight, let's be honest, and let people know that it's here. But there's other metrics we need to look at, which is key. And we will look at my dashboard, we will look at the analysis, and we will look at the if, buts, maybes, what should happen, could happen, maybe happen. So yeah, let's just stick to the basics, shall we? So on my platform, I have made a couple of little changes. Okay, nothing disastrous, but yeah, we can look at all these numbers and what's happening, what could happen. And the thing is, when we talk about the crypto market here alone, some stuff is slowly creeping up, which is good to see, right? You can see the distance between the EMAs are up, everything in terms of the trend bullish, pretty much everything, obviously. Obviously, Solana is now turned into hot. And if we go on to this, this is basically telling you what's actually been moving, not moving, whatever. You can get access to this dashboard, by the way, via Patreon as an associate member. The trouble we have is it cooked already? And we're already at levels of, say, resistance, right? Now, where we are right now in terms of the cryptocurrency dashboard here, which is essentially the same sort of data, but what is interesting here, we still have a neutral read on the market, still build a situation around Bitcoin. Exchange supply rising, positive net inflow suggests distribution, reduced leverage. Yeah, we are going towards levels of resistance as well. The fear and greed is up 20 over the last 7 days, which is indicating a bit of a strong bounce. The inflows in and around the world of the ETFs are pretty damn strong here, which is important to note. But overall, we are still in a cautious metric, realistically, because I think people are just shitting themselves. And that's where we are right now. Even though this has been updated nearly a day ago now, we're not seeing real big signs of this is going to really blow until probably, realistically, the technical analysis is going to become the main factor here. So yeah, as much as all the people are developing and stuff like that, there still feels to be a lack of crowd factor, in my opinion. Because the reality is here, okay, when we talk about the simplicity of this, we have a lot of confluence between a lot of things. This is going into a big zone. Now, let me just change the color of this because it is a bit weird. Let's go to a red line, just deepen it up a bit. This whole area here, where we talk about this red line, this double red, this is obviously the 618 level from the bounce. It is also, when you zoom out a little bit further, okay, the 382 of this entire move, realistically, when we talk about the entire move from the low to the high, okay, or whatever way you want to look at it. Either way, though, the confluence is interesting. When we talk about the 618 levels here, in terms of this high, low, back into the bounce, boom, into the red box, into levels of resistance, that's huge. We could be looking at a rejection at this point. My biggest concern, more than anything, is the fact that this is still a honking, ugly looking downtrend. We haven't, personal opinion, not financial advice, I don't think we're bottomed. I think we could go and retest more lows. And I know that it's a bearish situation. What would change my mind is if we break up out of here with a big, massive jump. But we do need to probably get above 89 to 90k levels to kind of change my mind a little bit. You know my drill. It's all in my dashboard. If you go into my dashboard, you'll know my cycle plan. It's all there. It's all publicly written alongside my charts. And whether you agree or not, I still think this is a bit too easy if that was the bottom. And that's my personal thought on it. Thus being said, though, let's talk about the potential room for an alt season here, because let's be fair, Bitcoin dominance is rising. That is not the signal we need right now, right? So we need this to break down. We need this to get capital rotation. Once that does happen, it becomes a bit easier. But right now, it still is Bitcoin season. But realistically, let's talk about the altcoin side of it. Because yes, stable currency dominance is dropping. We need this to drop. It was rising for a long time. That indicated the bearish period, and now we are slowly starting to drop, as you can see. The situation we have is, what do we have with the Ethereum side of the market? Well, it's still looking a bit shit. That's the problem. Is this the bottom? Ooh, I don't know. Are we just going to continue going lower? Maybe. I know it's hard for you guys to see, but we are still in a bit of a downtrend here. This is still going lower. So in terms of the altcoin market, not quite yet, but for some people it will be. Obviously, it depends what you hold. Obviously, Bitcoin, the Ethereum side of it, XRP side of it, Solana, whatever, big assets are the ones that will drive the bigger metrics. The situation we have is very, very clear. The total 3, realistically, BTC pair looks like that. We were rising, now we're melting. Total 3 in this side of it, we're starting to go up. The reason being, altcoin prices are dictated by what the Bitcoin price is. Bitcoin is slowly rising, which would indicate for a lot of people, but the metrics are not saying that yet. What could make that happen, though, is a rotation. Going from like these .D charts going up. There's slight tweaks about it, and it's nothing crazy. It's nothing like, ooh, it's going to happen. But realistically, we need these total market caps to hit the bottom. And there might be. There's potential levels of interest where they may actually turn around. And when we talk about these and like go on to these, BTC pairs, they might actually have bottomed. That's showing a sign of reaction potentially. So just keep an eye on certain altcoins. But my point is, we may well get a situation where people notice, they come back into the markets, they say, oh, Bitcoin's going up a little bit. Okay. Ethereum's now going up. Oh, XRP's going up. Oh, and people start getting somewhat, you can imagine, excited. And that could be of interest. Now, again, you can talk about the likes of Solana here, how big this has dropped and where it could be going. But a lot of altcoins, especially on these 3-day time frames and these daily time frames, are showing some sign of bouncage. Could be a nothing burger, but it could actually mean something. So that's the big fundamentals here. Everything's green, mainly because Bitcoin's green. If this continues going up, as you can imagine, a bit of rotation, people might get interested, might come back to their keyboards again and play the game. But the thing is here, right? The market doesn't just pump. It doesn't just magically rotate. It's all about capital rotation. I just proved the point of USD dominance is dropping slightly. Nothing crazy though. But Bitcoin dominance is rising. Bitcoin needs to go into altcoins via Ethereum and other things and other vehicles, ETFs, whatever it may be, to then get interest. The psychology is, I want green prices and then I feel safe to buy. The problem is, everyone's either too bullish or too bearish at the wrong times. For me, I'm probably cautious still. I did sell some Bitcoin a while back. I'm still holding Bitcoin. If we go lower, great. If we go higher, great. I'm kind of splinters in my arse situation, I know. But it's all about the game of survival when it comes to crypto. And too many people lose because they're over leveraged on everything. But going back to the charts, when we look at USD pairs of every single altcoin, they look like that. Shit. Ranging. Bollocks. Dog shit. Any other words you want to describe it, feel free to put them in the comment section. But that's where we are right now. Everything's starting to slowly bounce, but not enough to get excited. But one big move on Bitcoin, one big move with the Ethereum chart, one big move with, say, Solana, XRP, whatever it may be, as I say, might get the interest and people may look at it again. And that, to me, looks like a bit of a bottoming, if I'm going to be honest, most altcoins. But that could actually be, let's be honest, let's look at XRP as an example here. You could be looking at Fibonacci sequences of, this is the obvious situation, this is the obvious low. Are we just going to go back up and retest this level where we've been before? Maybe. And then we'll come back down. Who knows, right? That could be done on every single chart, even, as you can see, the Bitcoin. Just lagging, isn't it? The altcoin market is lagging that Bitcoin side. So just be mindful. And the reality check is this. We are at levels of resistance, give or take, very, very soon with Bitcoin. That could be a problem. And the reason why I say it could be a problem, we could fake out. And that could catch people out again. This is where I kind of mentioned it before. People get late to the party every single time with crypto. Late entries, over leveraged, cooked markets, chasing the green candles, as you can imagine. The real edge in any market, as I say, is survival. It's being in the market at the right times. I don't trade altcoins that much. I don't really care. But I understand the metric of the herd mentality, the people. I want altcoins to do well. I want capital rotation to happen, which will bring more interest in the game to allow volatility, to allow people to play correctly, because people just get, as you can imagine, getting chopped to bits right now. And this is why I think a lot of people lose in crypto, is because they just ignore it. They just, oh, it's crap in it. I'll come back in October. and it'll be all right. When realistically, there's probably a lot of opportunities to make some gains, sell some more stuff if profits were to be realized, or accumulate lower. But if you do want 20% off on fees for trading, feel free to jump in my link to Blowfin. It's totally free to do so, and you get 20% back of anything that you use in terms of fees back into your wallet. So yeah, what do you think? I'm going to be waiting patiently, hopefully, fingers crossed, things do happen. I think we're at a point where if Bitcoin does a big move, people might get interested. Don't know how much though. That's the thing. We've had so many of these false dawns, and that has created problems. But my personal opinion is, I think a lot of altcoins have died. I think they're pretty much useless. I mentioned this in this video here, so feel free to watch it. And yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Keen to know. I'll be back next Wednesday. But yeah, if you're interested in more content, jump in Patreon.